Good evening, one and all electronically present here. So pleased to introduce today's resource person, my director with us, Dr. M. Vaita. He has 19 years of teaching and corporate experience. She is currently the director of Department of Management Studies, Kathom College of Engineering, Coimbatore. She has played various leadership roles such as principal, director, head of various colleges, and human resource and admin manager in FNU.
So now let us move on to the session. As today we all are in an entirely different situation we had never come across in our life. COVID-19, a pandemic situation. We all are sitting at home and we all are staying inside our home all alone. And now again we are ready to set for the next level from 18th onwards. I believe things are normalizing nowadays with God's grace. So whatever we had so far, and whatever we are facing at present, based on this, how as academicians we can balance our work personally and your life personally, your personal life and your work, both the things together. How can we balance in a better way so that we can be highly productive? That is the question that was answered by almost all people in the past 4 days. And today, the last part is all about coping stress. Right? We all have had undergone tremendous stress during this period, and we had our own strategies to overcome. It is not only during this COVID period, even throughout in this work-life balance, always we have the problem of stress, right? So today we are going to have some idea, some knowledge about how to cope up our stress in such way we can balance our work and life, right? So according to you, what is stress? What do you feel as stress? So the audience can answer in your own way. According to you, what is stress? What do you feel as stress? Right. Yes. So from the chat box, I can very well understand the answers like there is mental stress, you're emotional, your work overload, and you're not clear as what to do, and then continuous pressure. Yes, all these things put together that stresses us mentally and physically. But how the concept of stress had come, and from where the word stress has derived. Ultimately, the word stress has derived from a Latin word stingray. Something sounds like a string, isn't it? So it is like a string which always has a strain in it, a tight feel, an elasticity in it, a tight elasticity in it, which means to draw tight. So whatever you've said so far, right? Your mental issues, our pressure, our emotions, our ego, whatever it is, everything put together makes us feel tight inside our mind, inside our heart, right? That's what exactly stress is all about. So from where it comes, it is nothing but all external forces as well as internal feelings which exercises or which puts pressure on us and which makes us to have a feel of strain. So whenever we have a feel of strain by something, we can call it as stress. And how do we feel it and how it happens us in this way? Whenever there is a stimulus that literally disturbs us, that literally makes us feel that no, I'm not okay. Or whenever you respond to something, right, your anger, your unhappiness, or you're not okay, feel right. So the response that you give towards the stimulus that disturbs you, that also causes stress. Then interaction between an organism and its environment. When we tend to interact with the environment, that may be with people, that may be anything. Say, for example, some people will get irritated with cockroaches, right? You will get stressed when you get more cockroaches inside your kitchen. You cannot manage. When you're doing something, all of a sudden, when a cockroach crawls over, you feel totally upset, right? That stresses you. So, whenever we interact with the external environment, a stimulus that creates a response in us that makes us feel uncomfortable is exactly stress, right? So each and every one of us have a feel. Many a times we must have come across a feeling of stress, right? And now, is it necessary to know about the impact of stress? Many of us, we know, yes, we are stressed, but what exactly the stress has got over us? Why do we need to think about stress? Well, is it so important for us to think about stress? The answer will always be absolutely and yes, isn't it? Why Why do we need to think about stress? What impact stress has got on us? I just need the answer from the audience. What audience have got in your mind? What stress does to you? You can chat. You can put your answers in the chat box. Okay. You can tell what impact stress has got on you. By knowing that I'm stressed, what benefit I will get, or if I don't know I'm stressed, what problems I will have. Okay, confusions, that is true. Then you'll feel upset, yeah. Then makes us feel sad and loss of sleep, yeah. Sure, you'll have physical tiredness, true. Lack of concentration, exactly. You couldn't sleep well, yes, there is an answer. Inefficiency, true, exactly, you're correct. Not work in full effort, Gautam, that's really true. Many a times we feel so tired and we are not coming out with our full potential. Angry, yes. We yell at people at home, right? At our workplace. Physical health, you get ulcers, you get so much of physical problems. Mentally, exactly. Harish had given a wonderful answer. It physically, mentally, and psychologically affects us. True, exactly, exactly. Small task looks big task. True, true, true. Yes. So these are all the symptoms that you have, right? When you're stressed, you have headaches, you have muscular aches, you have grinding of teeth, nerve toes, see so much of things, dizziness, restlessness, nightmares, insomnia, sleeplessness, fatigueness. You always feel that you're so tired and you're not okay. You're totally bad with that situation that is there. And then what sort of health issues you have because of stress? Many of the heart diseases. You must have heard about the people who work in IT companies and ITS companies, right? Because of stress, they couldn't express themselves. Ultimately, they get affected by diseases. Your hypertension, eating disorders, ulcers, majority of us, including me, if you ask me, I'm suffering from ulcer. We can tell that, yes, we need to manage stress, but in spite of us, many times, we have certain situations where we cannot overcome. We face it. And diabetes, it comes out of stress nowadays. In diabetes, you've got two types. You've got type 1 as well as type 2 diabetes. Children at an age younger than 6 years old, even they get affected by diabetes and they suffer a lot. That is also, again, a factor over here. Asthma, depression, headaches, sleep disorders, chronic fatigueness, and sometimes even cancers also comes out of stress. So, friends, please be careful about your stress factor. We need to do something. We need to overcome stress because it is after all our life, and we have to do it, right? So, before we get into how to cope with stress, I just want you all to take down a small maybe questions, set of questions which will help you to understand your stress level. All of you, please take a piece of paper and pen or pencil so that you can answer to these questions. So with these answers, you can understand your stress level at present. So based on that, you can plan for your stress coping strategies. Yes, here are the questions. You can start answering. See, I've got a set of questions. In that, you have to read the question and you have to give the answers. Okay. First, you have to give the answer as one if you agree the question for more than 50 percentage. More than 50 percentage, you agree that yes, I've got you mark it. If it is less than if it is less than 50 percentage, you mark it as 2. And if you have never had this problem at all, mark it as 3. Okay, so this is the questions. So I'm also reading out the questions for you. Once again, I'm telling. So if you are facing this for more than 50 percentage, give the rating as 1. If you have less than 50 percentage of this in your life, mark it as 2. If you are never having this problem or if you never had this problem, you mark it as 3. And finally, we'll count how many number of 1s you have, how many number of 2s you have, and how many number of 3s you have. That decides about your stress level at present. Okay. So, do you feel overworked? You feel overworked at your workplace as well as personal space, your home. Second thing, are you irritated by other people's incompetence? When others are really not competent enough, that irritates you or not? Do you feel like hitting people instead of telling them what is bothering you? Sometimes, no, you will tell, I just want to slap him rather than explaining him. Do you have that in you? Answer. Do you become withdrawn? Moras are difficult to talk to. You don't want to talk to. You are not comfortable in expressing yourself. Do you put off making important decisions? You just postpone your decisions, thinking that this is not the right time for me to decide about it. You postpone. Do you have doubts about your decisions once you have made them? After taking decisions, do you have a doubt? Do you find it difficult to delegate work? You're not comfortable in delegating. You end up doing everything by your own, or you don't do. Without delegation, you just face your flaws or feel bad about it. Do you feel you could never cope without tobacco, alcohol, or tranquilizers? So, whatever other habits you find as a solution for stress, do you think that is more important for you? Do you feel uneasy when you're not working? When you're not working, you feel uneasy. Do you feel tense and restless and find it hard to relax? I'm unable to relax even if I want. Yes. Do you feel anxious and panicky? Frequently, you have that panic or anxious feel. Do you get depressed for no obvious reasons? There is no reason, but you always feel bad for something. You find it hard to concentrate. Many said stress, right? I'm unable to concentrate many a times. Yes. Do you respond badly to criticism? If somebody points their fingers towards you telling that what you have done is wrong, do you really feel bad about it? Then give your marks accordingly. Next set of questions, continuation. With this, it will be over. Okay. Are you overtired and unable to sleep? Okay, you always feel so tired, but even if you lie down in your bed, you're unable to sleep. Do you feel your work is no longer worthwhile? You have that unworthy feel inside you. Do you feel you're not really up to your job many times, right? Sometimes you have this feel, no, I'm unable to, I'm not up to the mark. That feel. Do you feel there is no one with whom you can discuss your real feelings? Right? You feel like you don't have a real companion with you. Do you worry about the state of your health? Ever? Are you relieved when a health problem forces you to stay off work for a day or two? If you fall sick, if you take leave, you have a good feel. Pada, how come here? I've got leave, I'm comfortable. Do you have that feel or not? Yes, answer. Do you feel that food is tasteless, hard to get down, or just not worth bothering with? Like you don't have the taste sense at all. Whatever comes in, if you feel like eating, you eat, or else you leave it. That is the feel. You have it or not. Do you wish you had a less responsible job? Have you ever thought like, no, I've got too much to break my head. I would have chosen a job which is less responsible. Have you ever thought so? Give the answer. Do you feel that life itself is getting too much for you? Everything is coming to me only. I'm too much. I'm taking too much in my mind. Do you ever have that feel? Answer. Right? If you have answered to all these questions, now count and write how many number of ones you have as an answer, how many number of twos you have an answer, and how many number of threes as an answer for you. Just count and write. So how many of you have got maximum 3 as the answer for all the questions? Is there anybody who have got only 3 as an answer, or at least more than 5 threes? 5 count of threes? Anybody? I don't think so, right? Yes, super. 13 threes. Yeah, great, yeah. 13 threes in the sense you are totally comfortable. You are totally okay, right? You say that you never have stress at all. You are totally comfortable. Yes, 5. Super, 11. Okay. So now coming to the actual score I'm giving you. Yeah, see, look at this. If you have got maximum threes, either you must be kidding or you must be really into some sort of stable mindset. You must be into yoga, you must be a perfect person. You are really stress free and you're happy with your life. And next one is that if you have more than 6 ones, your answer is 1, more than 6, You are under stress. You have got stress. You need to do something with your stress and you have to cope up. And if you have got more than 5 twos as your answers, you're okay, you're balancing. If you could do some sort of basic mental exercises, you can very well overcome your stress. Yes, I've got a good answer from here 1, 5, 2, 13, yeah, 3, 5. So you can tell that you're more stressed. See here, when you have more than 6 ones in your count, you can tell that you have stress in you and you need to do something to overcome stress. But if you don't have, or if you have more than 5 twos or more than 5 threes, you can tell that you're comfortable, you're quite okay. And for people who have got stress in you, yes, now we have the answer and we'll go for it. Yes. So normally from where stress comes? Stress comes with stressors. What are stressors? Stressors are something that causes a state of strain and tension in our mind. That can be anything that makes you feel bad, that makes you feel tight. That is called as a stressor. And the feelings and thoughts that pop into your head and cause you an unrest. That may be anything. If somebody asks you to all of a sudden to stand in front of a crowd and give a lecture, you may feel stressed, right? Without a preparation, how can I? Or if somebody, if you ask them to take up a ladder fly, sure, they may feel. Or if you ask them to take up a hot balloon ride, sure, they may have a fear. And it depends. Some people have fear for heights, some people have fear for water. So all of a sudden, if you ask them to do that, with which they are afraid of, automatically there is a tension inside. There is a strain inside. That causes stress. So any factor that causes stress or tension within you is called as a stressor. So now we are going to see what are all the general stressors that we have in our life, personally as well as officially. Okay. So yes, it comes in this way. The causes of stress as stressors. First is extra organizational stressors, factors which are external to your organization but brings you stress. Next, organizational stressors, factors which are within your organization that create stress. And third is individual stressors. No one is responsible. You have got your own factors that creates stress in you. So how it goes? It goes in this way, right? Extra organizational stressors, that is factors which are outside your organization but that brings some stress in you. First is social and technological changes. Now you take the current situation, right? COVID. As soon as the lockdown is announced, all the educational institutions have started instructing us, telling that you start your online classes. Many of us were all new to the online system. We need our students in front of us, then only we can happily present ourselves like a lion roaring, isn't it? Many teachers love, enjoy presenting it to the students when their students are there at front. But now you're sitting in front of a system and you're assuming that there are people sitting in front of you. So you have social as well as technological changes, right? We are all new to Zoom, we are all new to Cisco, we are all new to Microsoft Teams, but we are doing it. That has created stress in us. Then family problems, right? You're sitting at home, but always in front of the laptop, in front of your desktop, in front of your mobile. People at home, they say, see, even after lockdown, sitting inside home also you work for college, you're not carrying us. That is a problem with the family, isn't it? Relocation to a new place, when you move to a different place, you have problem, your economical and financial situation. I do understand many organizations, they couldn't pay their people at this time, and many people who are daily wage earners and who rely on their business, they couldn't earn at present. So think of them. Always your economy and your financial position create stress in you, and the race, class, residential and community conditions. Your community that has a stress on you, your class, your race, and in India as such we follow so much of factors, right? So these are all the factors which are external. And internally within the organization, what exactly affects you? First is your policies, your organization policies that affects you. Say for example, in many organizations, even I've heard about from many of my teammates telling that, see, organization, my college is giving only 2 permissions in a month. But many of the days I work till 6 in the evening. But morning, if I come late, even by 1 minute, it is going to be a loss of pay for me, right? But that is an administrative policy. We need to accept our mind. Once if we understand it, let us stick to it rather than making it as an issue, rather than creating or taking it as a stressor. That is one thing. Then organizational strategies as such. If an organization says that you need to go for these many publications, you need to go for these many FDPs, and you need to complete this, that, and so many things, that creates a stress. Your organization structure and design. In order to take a leave, right? You have to get an approval, you have to take an alteration from your friend or your teammate, get the approval from your head of the department, then get the approval from the principal. It's a long process. If it is going to be a long process, it will be very difficult. But say, for example, you have a system where you have an ERP, just apply leave with a CC to all will approve, you'll get some. How nice it would be, right? We'll all be happy with that, isn't it? So in that way, organization structure affects you. Then your working condition, that is more important. See, even in working condition case, no, to some extent you can rely on the organization, and the other extent it is your place, it is your work, right? So try to make yourself comfortable with your own means, your own way. That is always good. Then the job itself is highly stressful, right? You think about so many jobs. I can even right from teaching also I can tell. So you yourself know there are so many jobs, so which creates stress for the people. Job role. What exactly is going to be your role as a teacher? Are you really a good mentor? Are you a good teammate? Are you a good boss? Are you a good mother? So you have got so much of role conflicts. So if you are clear with your role, automatically you'll be comfortable. Then poor working conditions, right? Poor working conditions, already I've told you, organization process and working condition. If that is not good, if you don't have, say for example, if you don't have hygienic restrooms, that literally irritates us many times, right? If you don't have a good table, if you don't have a good space inside, again that irritates, that brings in stress. Organizational politics, yes, it's a big chapter, right? If I talk about organizational politics, that goes endless. Many of us, and as a person who had come from industry, I can very well tell in academics nowadays we face lots and lots of politics, organizational. Either it is because of the organizational change or because of the current situation, we face lots of politic problems in organization. So this could be reduced only with positive attitude. Only if we have the right stress coping strategy, we can overcome. Then poor working relationship. When you don't have good relationship with your teammates, automatically you feel stressed. So these are all the factors that is related to organization. And then it comes to individual, where I myself create stress for me. What sort of things are there within me with which I create stress? First is role conflict. I don't know what exactly I have to do. Okay, in college, I have been given with a paper subject to handle. I'm the class tutor, and I'm given with the responsibility of organizing a club activity, and I'm given with the responsibility of organizing research and development activity. So if I've got so much, which to prioritize first or which to be given more importance, I'm not very clear. So that sort of conflict completely creates stress. So when you're not clear, when you cannot take up certain things, clearly say no to people in a humble tone with a proper explanation and be clear with your role. Automatically things will be okay. And role ambiguity. The difference between role conflict and ambiguity is in role conflict, you just take two roles and understand in a different way. Okay, I am a teacher and I am a boss also. So when I go to the classroom, if I behave as a boss to the students, that's it, it's gone. So there it is role conflict. I cannot be a boss inside the classroom. I need to be a good teacher only. But in case of role ambiguity, I'm not clear what exactly my duties and responsibilities are. If I am a tutor, I need to maintain certain documents. If I am a tutor, I need to take care of the students in a proper mentoring also. So if I am a tutor, I need to properly maintain their attendance. So these are all the basic roles of a tutor or a teacher. So if I'm clear with my roles, if I'm clear with my duties, I'll be okay. If not, there is a stress. And the type A characteristics. Type A characteristics is taking everything as an acceptable one. Whoever says anything to you, whatever responsibility is given to you, if you say that you're okay, you accept, that's it. You will be into stress only. So don't go for that. Locus of control. Locus of control is what you think as the factor that controls you. Locus of control is divided into two types. One is internal locus of control. The other one is external locus of control. If I feel that If something is happening to me, I am only responsible. That is called as internal locus of control. And in the same way, if I feel that if anything happens to me, that is because of others, that is called as external locus of control. Okay, morning I'm coming late to college. Because of that, I'm missing my first hour class and I've lost my permissions also and I'm getting loss of pay. For this, I cannot blame my wife who has delayed her maybe lunch preparation or breakfast preparation. And if I say that it is because of my wife or my partner, it has happened, I've got only external locus of control. I always blame others for my mistake. Or if sometimes, some people will always have self-pity. Everything happens because of me. Only to me it happens. That's what will be there. So there, automatically, it is your internal locus of control. So have a balance in it. Wherever it is your part, accept it frankly, or at least internally correct yourself. Wherever it is because of a third person, clearly tell them, make them understand, take help from them. Next point is learned helplessness. Okay, that is what I've told you in the earlier point. You automatically think that I'm helpless. No one is ready to help me. No one is bothering about me. I'm only suffering. I'm only doing. That sort of mindset is learned helplessness. Don't do that. That creates stress. Then self-efficacy. How far you are comfortable in managing yourself. If you are an organized person, if you could plan everything and if you could adjust everything as per your plan, yes, your self-efficacy will be very high. You will be totally comfortable. There won't be any chaos. You will be okay. If not, you will be under stress, right? Last one is psychological hardness. Psychological hardness, I can give you a good example for this. Many times, when we speak about or when we have this about our great grandparents or grandparents, we'll tell, our grandma was very thin and lean and she was very weak, but mentally she was very strong. That mental strength made her live up to 100 years, right? So that is what is called as psychological hardness, right? Your mental power gives you the physical fitness. Whatever stress comes to you, your mind accepts it, but it never permits your physical system to respond to your mind. That is called as psychological hardness. So keep your mind in such way that whatever stress comes to you, you analyze, put it away, don't take it inside and permit your body to respond to it. That is your psychological hardness. So these are all the factors that normally creates stress in us. One is external, extra organizational or external factors. Next is organizational factors that is related to job. And the last one is based on you as an individual. So now what we are going to do is, with all these things, we'll say stress is good, right? If I say that stress is good, do you all agree? Yes?
No.
Is good. No. Is good.
No.
Yes. Maybe you can
To
chat,
some
you can type
extent.
the answers. To some extent. Very good, very good. Yes. Then. Optimism. No. No, ma'am. Yeah, Dr. Suresh. No. Yes, yes, yes. Not good. Okay, okay. No, ma'am. So majority says that stress is not good. Stress is not okay. But here in front of you, I had given a stress curve which says that stress is also needed in life. Say, for example, to the students whom we are handling classes, if we don't keep examinations at all, what will happen? They won't study at all. They won't listen to you in the class at all. The tool that you have in your hand to control the students is, yes, your knowledge, your care, everything is there. But ultimately, their degree, isn't it? That is given based on the assessment, their examinations. So that is important over there. So that examination creates a stress in them, which makes them to perform in a better way. Again, to put it in a very simple way, just take an example of a child you have at home, right? When you ask the child to get up by 6 o'clock in the morning and brush up, that too, at this period, during this lockdown period, they'll say, "Ma, no, we don't have school, no, why are you disturbing us even today? Let me sleep for some more time," right? So next time, when you tell it, no, your voice, your tone will change. Hey, get up, it's getting late, right? And third time, if you're not getting up, I'll slap you. Isn't it? You give it. So that is a stress that you are giving to your child with an expectation that there will be a response from the child. So for all of us, to some extent, we need a stress. We need some sort of stress. That is called as positive stress or eustress. So when you have that positive stress, see here, from your inactive level to slowly, you just go to your optimum level, your performance level, right? So when your optimum stress is there, your performance is going to be always good and best. And when you are performing at your best, if you have the exhausted feel, or if you feel so tired, and if you are having anxiety or panicness, then go back to the previous level. Take some rest, be inactive, hibernate, and have some rejuvenation. Then come back, your performance will be okay. Your performance will be good. Even college also you take care. For an example, right from morning, continuously you had 3 hours of class. You are totally stressed because of your continuous class. So what could be the stress buster? Just take a lunch along with your teammates. Have some discussions beyond your college, beyond your workplace. Something funny with some sense of humor and talk to them about their good things. Talk what sort of good things you had right from morning. Automatically you will feel good. That is the stage of you are taking rest. Then you think of your position, automatically you will be strong, you will be energetic. So to some extent, stress is needed in life. So only with that you can perform in a better way. So how we are going to manage our stress in a positive way, that we are going to see now. So before saying that, I just want you all to understand what exactly job stress is all about. So we'll have an analysis, what sort of level we have in our job stress, then we'll see the coping strategy. So any condition which arises from the interaction of people and their jobs and characterized by changes within people that forces them to deviate from their normal function. Anything from the job or from the factors related to the job that makes you deviate from your routines, both physically, mentally, officially, that is called as job stress. Okay, so now we'll see how far people, like almost all the participants are there, right? Already we have seen one exercise, one evaluation. Now this is the second evaluation. This is going to tell us how far our job is stressful to us. How many of you are really interested in taking up this? Say yes or no. If you say yes, we'll go for it. How many of the participants wants to know? Yes, yes, yes. Interested. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Super, super, super. Okay, take your paper and pen. I've got a set of questions for you. You can answer. Yourself can evaluate your stress level. Based on that, you can have your stress coping strategies. So the 5 ratings you are going to give for your answer. So if you don't have stress at all, give 0. Like for the questions I'm telling, okay. 1 is slightly stressful, 2 is moderately stressful, 3 is highly stressful, and 4 is extremely stressful. Maybe you can have the scale from down to top, bottom to top. Okay. So now the question in front of you. First you have, yeah, your physical conditions of your work. You give your rating from 0 to 4. No stressful, slightly stressful, high, extremely high. Give the rating. Second question, freedom to choose work. How much freedom you have? Then freedom to get on with your work. Whatever you want to do. Are you being given with real freedom? Give the answer. Your colleagues. When I say your colleagues, so you are rating for your colleagues. How far they are good or bad or okay. Give the rating. The recognition you get for your good work in your department, in your organization. Having more than one immediate boss. In some places it happens. You will be answering to your HOD, you will be answering to the placement officer, you will be answering to the dean, you will be answering to the principal, everyone together, right? So more than one boss, that creates stress or not. Your immediate boss or bosses. The amount of responsibility you are given, physical and mental you can have. Your rate of pay, that is your pay scale. Sometimes that itself is a stressful factor, right? Many of you might have worked with the industry, you might have had a very good salary, and for some reasons you might have compromised it and then come back to education or some other job where you really feel that no, you're worth for something more, but your salary is not, right? So give your opportunity to use your abilities. You get real opportunities to portray, to showcase your abilities. So you are stressed or not in your department. Tell the answer. I'm moving to the next part of it. You have totally 17 questions, okay? So next 11th question is relationship between management and workers in your organization. How far your management is friendly with you? Okay, so your stress level in it. Then your chance of getting promotion in the department. Is your performance has been recognized or not? So your stress level from 0 to 4. As soon as you, what is the stress level that you're getting in your mind? Answer. The way your organization is managed, whether things are clear to you, your communication is clear, you have everything perfect, or you have problems, your stress level for that, your rating. The attention paid to suggestions you make to your department, to your college, to your HOD, to your colleagues, whoever it might be. When you suggest, do they really accept your suggestions? Put your rating. Number of working hours. I'm not talking about the fixed working hours that the college has specified. Beyond that, based on your responsibility, how much time you spend in your place, your workplace. Okay? So that is your number of working hours. Is it really stressful or not? Give the rating. Then amount of variety in your job, right? Variety in the sense, so you have, sometimes it will be good. Yes, I'm enjoying, I've got so much to do. Sometimes it will be little irritating. So see, I've got so much, I'm not okay. I couldn't do anything properly. So based on that, you give your answer. Security of your employment, that is your job security. You say that, yes, I'm good, I'm happy. Next 5 years, I'll be in this college only. And I'm totally okay, I'm comfortable. No, I don't know. My organization may, tomorrow morning, if my name is not there in the attendance, I have to come over. Yes. So, based on that, you give the answer to the last question. 0 to 4. Now, you sum up. Total the numbers. Whatever numbers you are given, you total. Total it. Maybe randomly you can share your numbers also in the chat box so that I'll be able to understand. I just need total of ratings you are given. The answer for each question, I just need the total only. You must have given 4, 3, 2, 1 and all ratings, right? So just count total, sum it up and give me the final number. Okay, 17, 19, 22. Yes. Then 29, 15, 31, Bhuvaneshwari, okay. Narmada Devi, 20, superb. Nitya, 25. Jalakshmi ma'am, 37. Okay, 23, Jitnathan. Saravana Prakash, 21, superb. Sumitha Josephine, 25. Okay, that's great. You all have got very high numbers. Okay, so now 40, Yuvarani. No, sorry, Prasannan Doreraj has got 40. Yuvrani ma'am, you have got only 15. That's really good. Okay. Now I've got the answer for you. Look into it. Whomever have got less than 21 marks, right? You are really comfortable here. You're all lucky guys. You are really okay. You are comfortable. You are the lucky champs. You are okay with your job and you're totally fine. And people who have got scores from 21 to 40, there may be a source of stress for you. If you could identify what is really disturbing you, really you can overcome, and you are comfortable in your job, you can overcome. You have got just 1 or 2 factors that literally disturbs you in your organization or in your job. If you identify those factors, you can very well overcome and you can be comfortable in your job. And people who have got 41 to 60, no, your job is a major cause of stress. Guys, you need to do something with your job. So exactly, either you have to plan yourself properly or screw up things which are not okay at your workplace, then only you will be stress-free. And next is about, if you have got 60, that's it. Better you. That is the only answer. Because you are ultimately stressed with your job, rather than rectifying and correcting, just to take care of you, please move out of the place, check for some other place, sit peacefully. That is the only option. So based on the answers that you all had given, Please evaluate yourself and go with the answers. Maybe for people in the first three category, I have got few answers as how to cope with your stress, right? Stress coping or managing strategies could be divided into two areas. First is based on individuals as we, what can we do? Second, organization. At the workplace, what can we do? So these two things can be again divided into problem focused and emotions focused. So under problem focused, we'll be concentrating on the problems that we have within us or around us. We can very well have some ideas and sort it out. Emotion focused are within us, or it is based on the interrelationship between people. So we need to, it is a bit sensitive, so we need to be a bit careful with that. Okay, so we'll see how it is going to happen one by one. So first, individual strategies to cope with stress. First is about problem focused and the other one is about emotion. Under problem focused, first and foremost thing is time management, right? If at all, if we could manage our time, schedule our time properly, many of our problems could be reduced. Second thing, requesting others for help. If you're not really okay with your job role, your duties and responsibilities, or if you're held up with so much of things, nothing wrong in asking your teammates, your friends for assistance, for support. Sit with them, talk to them, tell your problems to them, and openly ask for support. Surely your people will help you out because they may also be expecting a companion like you to express their feelings, open up. And third, shifting to another job. For people I've told you who have got scores above 60, if you think that you cannot do anything with that place, nothing could be done, better change your job. Go for a new place, start afresh, and you'll be happy with that. This is problem focus. And next comes the emotion part, right? It is a bit sensitive. So what we have within, we may not express it, and what others have within themselves, even they may not express. So it is a bit sensitive and do. So first one is relaxation techniques, right? So whenever you sit in front of your computer, or whenever you sit in your own place, right? Continuously, if you're sitting and doing something, take some exercises, some relaxation techniques. You have plenty of techniques and tools available in Google Master Care. Just Google it out and identify. 2022, right? So you just take 20 minutes off or 20 seconds off from your computer, look at an object at 20 meters away for 20 minutes and then get back. And sitting in your chair itself, nowadays you've got so much of exercises, some relaxation, some basic exercises, your eye exercises, physical exercises, so much of exercises are available in Google. Please just Google as relaxation exercises in working place, relaxation exercises in sitting posture, relaxation exercise for eyes. If you check it out, you have got plenty of answers. Whatever you feel comfortable for your place, for your nature of job, please adopt one or two and do follow. The ultimate problem with academicians is that we read a lot, we never implement. We'll only advise to others because we get used with it, isn't it? I'm also an academician. I know it. That's why I'm telling it. So please do practice. Your health is more important. You are more important to yourself and to your family first. Then comes your job. Because of your job, don't lose your health. Don't lose your individuality. Please ensure that. Then your psychological strategies, right? Psychological strategies, you need to take the help from some behavioral therapists, some psychological experts. You've got energy-based psychology, you've got kinesthetics, you've got touch therapy, so much of things. If you really have some problem which is not at all under your control, better get it from other experts. Maybe end of the session, I will teach you one such technique. You can follow it. And maybe a small technique which I can teach you now is that whenever you feel so stressed, or it may be any negative feeling where you have that much more palpitation, your heartbeat is very high, you have discomforts in breathing, no? You can do a very small exercise to a place wherever you are, okay? Whether you're sitting, you're walking, you're talking to someone, or you're in any place, you can do it, okay? So I'll show you now. Just sit in a relaxed manner and take a deep breath. Okay, just you can close your eyes for some time. Take a deep breath. You can even try it now also. Just close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Inhale fully and slowly. Then exhale out in a fast and speed mode. like this. So inhale fully and slowly and exhale in a very fast mode, like this. If you repeat it for a minimum of 3-4 times, you yourself can do it whenever you are totally angry, whenever you're totally anxious of something, whenever your emotions are too high or too heavy, whenever you could feel that your heartbeat is a bit high. See, people who have heart problems, don't try this. You have to check with your doctor. If you don't have any cardio problems, you can very well try this. Okay? Take a deep breath and you just exhale in a fast mode so that your oxygen circulation inside your body will be good and you will become normal. You can relax for some time, then continue with your work. Automatically, you will feel good and comfortable. Next, emotion focused strategies, recreation. You can be into any sort of recreation. Go for some playing activity, some sport activity, even sitting inside the home. You can draw something, you can paint, you can do any activity with which you're comfortable. See, even my coordinator, staff coordinator, Mr. Dr. Sriram, he's highly creative in making thermocol based images, thermocol based maybe what you call, yeah, designs. So when we had a Gonu at our college, we were asking for it. Immediately he said, like, we always stress to design something. So he said, like, ma'am, I know to do something using thermocol. Let me try it out. Within a half day, he has created a wonderful temple of knowledge. So it is possible for academicians. We are more creative. So whichever area you really feel, and I see for example, an example from my home, if I say, my husband loves cooking. Whenever he feels stressed, he says that no, I'll take care of kitchen. You just go, sit, relax with your work. I'll do that. So he enjoys cooking. He feels comfortable with that, and that's a recreation for him. Same way, you select an area, a place which is really okay for you, which is really good for you to enjoy doing. You feel so happy to do that. Then companions. This is more important, friends. Try to have one good companion in your life with whom you can really share everything, with whom you can really take all criticisms properly. There must be someone who could really say that, yeah, what you have done is really wrong. You wouldn't have done this at all. You should be able to accept them telling that, yes, it is my mistake. I have to correct it. Identify one such person. Better if you could identify one such person from your family, that would be really nice because no, you can very easily share everything with your family member. But if you have a good friend, you are gifted. You can do that also. You can continue. But unnecessarily, don't do it with the wrong person. Okay, sometimes some people may try to take advantage. They may misuse also. So be careful about it, irrespective of the age and time. Here, age and experience is nothing when you have emotions. So be careful about it. Okay. And the last one is spiritual part. That is really important, irrespective of the religion that you follow. You may be a Christian, you may be a Hindu, you may be a Muslim, you may be a Sikh person, whoever it might be. You believe in God. We all believe in nature. Again, COVID has proved it, right? Nature is more powerful. So let us put our mind in the feet of, or in the lotus feet of God, or in the feet of nature, and surrender everything to nature. Whenever you think that something is out of your control, you can do nothing with it, please surrender it to God and accept whatever coming to you, whatever given to you is only for your goodness, and be confident of it. I'm sure it is going to bring you some good thing. Okay, so this is about your individual. Next is about organization. So individual, we can do something, but organizational, we cannot do anything, but we can identify and we can rectify. In organization, problem-focused strategies are redesigning the job. When you think that your job has got so much of roles and responsibilities, when you're not okay, you redesign. You tell, okay, even though I am the tutor, this is what I do. Even though I am the subject coordinator, these are all the things I do. This is the area where I need support. Ask your boss, ask your teammates. You just clearly define your roles and properly delegate to other people, take assistance, you'll be okay. Then proper selection and placement. This is mainly for the heads of the departments or people who are in the place of selection and placement. Please keep in mind that when you select a person, it is not based on salary alone to select them. You check for the salary, that is really fine. You check for the qualification, that is really fine. Apart from that, their knowledge and the basic sense and basic responsibility that they are supposed to have. towards the education field is more important. So keeping that in mind, if you select someone and praise them, no, that will be an awesome decision. And training, yes, exactly. Whenever things are not okay in the organization or in the department, there is a need for training. Identify it. Related to interpersonal relationship, that may be related to team building, that may be related to conflict management, or related to technological upgradation, related to publication, whatever it might be. The areas where you really feel that something is not at all developing, there is no growth at all in this area, talk to people. Surely there will be a need for training. Identify suitable experts and provide proper training to your people. Automatically, all your problems will get sorted out. Next is team building. Yes, this is the mantra of today. I always proudly say that I've got wonderful teams always throughout my career. My teammates are awesome. Till today, my teammates are awesome. And the reason for it is I believe in my teammates always. And I work on the strength of my teammates. Never ever assign a responsibility to a person who cannot do that. Even just to do politics also, please don't do that. If one person in your team fails, the entire team fails. So when all the team members can understand each other, complement each other based on their strengths, automatically the team grows. When the team grows, the team lead is always getting the credit. And the team lead has to have the confidence and guts to tell the teammates that whenever there is something wrong, whenever there is going to be a failure, I will take the responsibility. Automatically, your team will be there for you and they will work for you. So develop that and be frank enough. Never do gossiping among team members. If anybody does anything wrong, please go talk to them personally. Whatever they've done has hurted you. Whatever they've said is not correct. Clarify it and always speak the positive things, good things about the other person whenever you are having conversations with your teammates. So that will create a positive mindset in your team. And the last one is providing other facilities in colleges. Many facilities are being provided by many colleges. You can also. Next is about emotion focused in organization. So as I've told you, you just be open for communication. Whenever you feel that things are not correct, whenever you feel that things are not okay, just call all your people either for a one-to-one conversation or for a team conversation. Clearly discuss whatever is right and wrong. Give them clear guidelines, clear ideas. You can overcome your emotions. And many times, appreciate people in front of others. And whenever you want to really correct them, do that personally, not in group. Never try it as a strategy to control people. That is not at all correct. And if you could really appreciate them and put them personally, what is their weakness, they'll be very responsible and they'll be thankful to you for their lifetime. You'll be setting a good example. Then employee assistance programs. Whenever you think that any of your faculty who specialized in a particular area is not knowledgeable or he needs some additional knowledge, please send them to the right FDPs, to the right places from where they can learn, help them. Senior mentors or senior faculties, please help your juniors. Juniors also have the mindset that your seniors are having good experience and have real respect for them. And whenever they do some good thing for you, accept them, be humble and trustworthy to them. Automatically, you will get good help and assistance from the senior members. And senior members also take your juniors in such a way that they are your own family members and support them and assist them. Automatically, they'll do. That is what is being given in the next point. Mentoring. Mentoring is an area where it is not just communicating. It is sharing what you have learned out of your fingers, out of burning your fingers, right? When you have put your fingers in fire and you're burnt, you know the pain of it, then you tell your person, no, yeah, don't touch it. It'll be painful. That is mentoring. Simply if you say that, no, fire is hot, don't touch it, it will be painful. That is not mentoring. You tell them the intensity of it, the feel in it, the involvement in it, the effects of it, the outcomes of it, everything you tell them and guide them then and there. I'm sure your prodigies, your mentors will be always truthful to you, will be respectful to you, and it will be a positive chain reaction. Wherever they go, surely they will pass on this positive information. You cannot change all 100 with you. but at least if you could change 10, this 10 will change another 10, and continuously you get into hundreds and thousands and 10,000s. So the change starts from us, from you and me. Let us start it. Okay. Then wellness programs, personal time off. These two things are also needed in an organization, like giving insurances, mediclaims, providing additional benefits to them, giving some personal time. Normally we have it, right? Our canteen time and other breaks and all. So if that could be given, these things will help us to emotionally balance or emotionally feel comfortable and happy. This is what could be done in an organization. This is the general stress buster. I'm giving it to you. If you want, or if you really feel that yes, I have stress and I really want to do something with that, I have to overcome stress, please note down these points and keep it in your mind. Try to slowly adopt it in your life. Anything, if you follow for 21 days continuously, surely that will become your habit. Please, please do it. First one, wake up and sleep at the same time every day. Say, for example, morning, if you're planning for 5:30, make it compulsory that all the days, even on Sundays, you get up by 5:30, do your basic duties, then lie down by 8 o'clock, go for a sleep. That's really fine. But wake up by 5:30, even on a holiday. And same time, in the evening, going to bed. If you have decided to go to bed by 10 o'clock, even if you have hell a lot of pending work, leave it there. Sleep. First, you are important. Your health is important. Only when you are alive for tomorrow, you can continue with your work. Otherwise, what are you going to do? Sitting at your work for more than 12, 1 o'clock in the night? No. Just change that. Your wake up and sleep time always must be same. Then develop a pre-bed routine. Before going to bed, just plan what sort of things are pending and you need to do it on tomorrow on a priority basis. This is the first thing that I have to do, second thing I have to do. Like that, you create a priority list. Please have a diary with you. Please do it. It will be really useful to you because I'm practicing it. Out of my experience, I'm telling you, it will be really good. Then follow a regular daily schedule. As soon as you go to college, no, have a regular schedule. Morning, these are all the mails I'll check, messages I'll check, and the PPTs of the classes I'll check. Then I check for this information. I'll communicate based on my routines or schedule. I'll do it like that. Prepare. Follow your medication. If you're taking any medicines, many females may be thyroid in the morning, and if you have diabetes, again tablets, hypertension tablets, right? So properly take medicines, even if you have got short period of illness like fever, cold, and all. No, please concentrate in your food and take medicines at the right time to recover soon. And prepare the to-do list for next day. Right? I told you develop a pre-bed routine, no, the same day. Your workplace also to-do list for next day. And then follow healthy food habits. Many of us are not doing, right? I've got one of my teammates, right? He won't have breakfast at all. As soon as he comes to college, no, by 10 o'clock, he'll go to canteen. He'll have 2 egg puffs, 2 teas. With that, his breakfast is over. But that is not correct, right? So we used to insist that no, he has to change. Now his wife has started preparing some sort of salads in the morning. So morning, it is not easy for him to prepare the breakfast or have the breakfast at home. So he's bringing the salads to college. After his first hour class, he's sitting and taking it. That is quite comfortable now, isn't it? So in that way, you prepare. Maybe all together, you can plan. In the department, if 4 or 5 of you are there, no, you can plan. One day, one person can bring something. The other day, other person can bring something. If nothing is done, get some dry fruits and keep it in your drawer. Have some dry fruits in between, maybe few dates, few dry grapes, few cashews, few badams, pistas. That will really give you energy rather than taking a puff in the canteen. Please do that. Have some fruits, have some vegetables, because long run, your body and you are the hearts, it is going to be there with you till your last breath, and you have to provide proper care for it. Do it. Then keep your bedroom sleep friendly. Normally, no, nowadays we keep all our electronic gadgets in our bedroom, right? Your laptop, your mobile phone, your headphone, everything will be lying on the bed. Please don't do that. Your bedroom needs to be completely clean, free from all electronic gadgets, without any sort of lighting. When you go to sleep, it must be totally dark. Then only your internal sleep hormones will function properly, so that your sleep will be a good and deep sleep. At least for that, make your bedroom more comfortable, more peaceful, right? Then follow healthy food habits that I've told you. Then read, watch, listen selectively, because your readings and whatever you watch and whatever you listen decides your mind, decides your thoughts. So please be careful. Don't go for even for just for fun or for play. Don't go for any sort of unwanted negative things in your life. Without your knowledge, it may get inside. The very good example is the TV serials here. Men knows it very well. Even women who are working knows it very well, right? So whatever villain characters comes in serial, same thing people try to depict in their life also. If we cut, just check this COVID period, we are all happy, isn't it? We were all happy. There is no problem at all. Nothing like any deviations, no negative deviations at all in the family. We were very happy because we didn't had an opportunity to watch all these serials and sit for continuously serials. We had our time to spend together with the family. So be selective and no mobiles 1 hour before sleep. Before you go for sleep, please for the last 1 hour before your bedtime, don't look into your mobile. Whatever you have, put it in silent mode. Whatever information you want to communicate, please communicate a bit early. Keep it away. Take that time to talk to your children, please. Your family members, your better half, they are waiting to hear from you. They are there for you. They just wait to listen, isn't it? They are expecting you to listen to them. Please spend that 1 hour in the night with your family. Talk to them, express your views, ask their views, and have a good sleep. Automatically, you will be perfect. You can overcome all your stress, right? So, this is the 5 P's normally I follow in my life. And normally, even to my students also, I suggest this 5 P's. If you could remember this 5 P's, no, you can forget the other areas. You will be very happy, right? So, first one is prayer. Always keep your mind in prayer. Believe in God. Whatever happens to you, whatever you do comes with your prayer, with divine blessing only. Have confidence in that and do that. Second thing, plan your activities properly in a pakka manner. Whatever you want to do, properly put down, write down the plan, your time, your schedule, everything, do it pakka. Then prepare yourself for that. You need to be healthy, you need to be happy, and you need to be perfect, punctual, everything, isn't it? So prepare yourself to implement the plan that you have prepared. That may be any goal that you have in your life. Be prepared. Then present yourself. Once you decide that, yes, yeah, my plan is perfect, I'm prepared. Then you present yourself continuously, step by step. Automatically, the miracles will happen in your life. And while presenting, project it properly. Many people know they'll tell. Even one of our friend and the team was asking, like many people, they work smart and hard workers are not being recognized. No, not at all. If you work hard, you have to project yourself properly. Whomever you need to communicate, communicate. Whichever way you want to convey, convey. That is your responsibility because you are living in digital era. In this era, it is possible for you to communicate to all people about whatever you are doing. Do that. That is your responsibility. So hard work, 80%, 20% smart work is also needed, wherein you yourself compare, tell people, tell your strengths, tell your abilities. Otherwise, others will automatically grab it from you. So do it. It is your responsibility. So if you could pray properly, if you could plan it, and if you can prepare your plans properly and implement the plans in a better way and project it to the right person, whatever decisions you take, I'm sure you will be the perfect person and you will be winner of any decisions that you take in your life. Yes, so that is about your stress coping strategies. And now the last part of it is a relaxation technique that I really wanted to tell you. Right? So before this relaxation techniques, I just want to give you a small information about the chakras that we have in our life, in our body. Right? There are around 7 energy chakras. It is nothing related to religion. It is just all about energy circles or energy chakras in our body. So you have 7 energy chakras in your body. So based on this energy chakras, if you mentally perform some activity, you can easily overcome your stress, your negative thoughts, and you can reinforce your positive thoughts. Okay, so how you are going to do your negative thoughts? Maybe I just want the audience to tell any of the negative thoughts that you really want to overcome. You can chat now. You can just express what sort of negative thoughts you have or what sort of stress, negative stress you have, which you really want to overcome. anger, okay, depression, scolding, short temper, okay, avoiding, Suganya, avoiding your activities, I believe, doctor, okay, avoiding, tension, accept the attitude of others, beautiful, beautiful, depression, tension, comparing with others, okay, health issues, okay, okay, not trusting others, maybe out of your experience, right, accepting everything, wonderful, headache, okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautifully, well said. Okay, so what we can do is you just whatever negative emotions or feelings that you really have and you want to overcome, you just put it into simple phrases. I just want to overcome, or I always feel angry and I'm removing my anger feel from me. I'm removing my untrustworthiness feel from me. Like that, you frame phrases. Okay, you just put it in a way that you just want to remove it from you. Okay, so put it that I am removing this from me. Like that you tell. So what you have to do is for all the 7 chakras, you will be removing that energy, that negative energy from you by telling this phrase. Okay, starting from here, from the head. Okay, so again I'm moving to the previous one, from the head. So you just keep your hands here above your eyebrows and think that your chakra is having some energy. You tell the connotation you have in your, or the phrase that you have framed. I am removing the anger feel in me from my past. Telling that, you slowly remove your hands like this, thinking that you're literally removing the anger from you, from the energy chakra. I am removing the tension from me, from the past. Or if you have any specific reason for the tension, because of others treating me, or because I feel that I am unworthy, I am not happy, you can tell that also. I am removing the feeling of unhappiness. I am removing the feeling of untrustworthiness. Telling that, you start from here. Okay? You just tell, I am removing the feeling of unhappiness. Like this, you just pull it away slowly. Then come to the next chakra, which is just near to your eyes. Remove it. Then your throat. Just tell as if you're removing. Don't touch. Just keep your hands away from your body, then remove. Then the heart chakra. Heart, the place near to heart. I'm removing it from the past. And next your navel, I'm removing from the past. And below the navel, I'm removing from the past. And even below that, I'm removing. And finally, you just take it throughout your foot, thinking that it is moving out of your body. And just show it like it is moving out of your body, right? So you just tell it is for the past, I'm removing it from the present, and I'm removing it from the future. Continuously, you should do 3 times, okay? First time, I'm removing my feeling of fear from the past. I'm removing the feeling of fear from the past. From the past, telling you just tell it inside within you and do it. Next time, from the present, I'm removing the feeling of fear from the present, from the present. Then from the future, I'm removing the feeling of fear from the future. Like that, tell it continuously and do each cycle for 3 times. In a relaxed manner, maximum it will take 10 to 15 minutes only. Do it in a relaxed manner. Automatically, your negative feelings will slowly move off you. Once if you feel relaxed, once if you feel that you're totally out of it, you can stop this exercise. Till that you can do. You can do it at any time, right in the morning or in the evening, after food, before food, no specification at all. Just you need to relax and do. That is for removing your negativity. So you have any questions related to it? Are you okay with this? You have any questions related to whatever I've said you so far? No, there is no posture at all. You can sit, you can stand, in any way you can do. That is as per your comfort. If you are not comfortable in standing, you can sit and do. That is up to you. There is no specific posture at all. You can sit, relax, do, you can stand and do, you can lie down. Lying down is not that okay, but if you're sitting and standing, that would be really fine. Okay. That is for removing negativity. And next one is about reinforcing positive emotions. If I believe that, right? How many days? There is no specification. If you really feel that you're totally out of it, then you can stop. Maximum 5-6 days it will take. Then you will automatically feel the difference. With that, you can stop. And next is reinforcing positive emotions. Now, the beginning, previous thing we did about removing negativity. Now we just want to tell ourselves we are giving some positivity. Okay, so that positivity can be any positive thing. You just tell me what positivity you want to reinforce. Any of you can tell. You just tell these are all the positive things I want to have in me. Super. I am realizing. Excellent. Super. That is really good. You have done it properly. That is why you are realizing it. So, what sort of positive things you want to have in you? You want to insist in you. Tell me. Confidence, relaxation, superb. See, please don't put any messages related to quiz and other things. At the initial stage itself, I've told you, before 10, we will be sharing all the videos, quiz, as well as feedback forms with you. You can submit it to us, and end by 15th or 16th, all of you will be getting your e-certificates. So there is no need to worry at all. You can give a call to me, I'll answer. Time management, positive energy. Simply, I just sit down. Very good. Veerasamy, I just want to sit down. Superb, superb. Okay, okay. That's fine. So, okay. So there are some answers like I just want to relax. Okay. Or I just want to say that I'm confident. Okay. What you can do is you keep your hands like this. Okay. Keep your hands above your head and close your eyes and just think of any positive energy about you. That may be the God whom you believe the most, or the nature, or some energy source which is above you, right? That is there to bless you, to give you the real energy. Realize that, understand that. Then you just tell to yourself that I am getting the energy to be happy. I am getting the energy to be relaxing. So whatever you say, whatever positive thing you want to reinforce, I am getting the energy to take strong decisions. I am getting the energy to be more confident, like that, right? So telling that, closing your eyes, you just think that you are receiving the golden rays from the superpower, from the God or from the source of energy, whomever you keep there, right? From them, you are receiving the golden rays and you're taking the rays within you. It comes to you, it gives you the positive energy. Tell it, I'm getting the positive energy to be happy. I'm relaxing and I'll be happy. I'll be happy. I'm getting the positive energy to be happy. So take your hand throughout your body till your foot. You need not touch your body. Just take your hand around your body till your feet. Right? You repeat it minimum 3 times. But you have to do it slowly in a relaxed manner. And you should feel as if the golden rays are getting inside you. You are getting surrounded by the golden rays and you are getting the energy. You are relaxing. You are happy. You are being blessed. And whatever you are asking in a positive manner is getting inside you. You are totally okay with that. And you are taking all the energy within you. And that energy comes till your feet. You are totally all right. You are totally positive now. Right? So it is of this way. Whatever it might be, that may be anger, that may be your ego, that may be anything. If you say that I am becoming an egoless person or I am removing my ego. So removing is negative and positive is I am enforcing or I am reinforcing that I am becoming an open-minded person. I am becoming a person who can accept others. So I am getting the energy to accept others openly. I can accept people easily. I can accept others easily. I'm getting the energy for that. Like that, you repeat it for minimum of 3 times. If you do that, automatically you can feel the energy within you, change within you, right? So this is what is the practice that you can really do. Okay. So that is all about your positive and negative reinforcement. And the last part is you, right? So whatever I've said so far is again a knowledge. a little bit of knowledge that I had, I've shared with you. But the ultimate success of coping strategy is in your hands only. So success is not possible without you, without your involvement. Friends, please understand one thing. First thing is you are important for yourself. Your body is more important for you. If you take care of your body and mental health and physical health properly, you can do any wonders that you are really interested in doing, in achieving. Second thing is your family. There are many people who doesn't have a family, doesn't have any relationship at all in their life. If you are blessed to have a wonderful family, just please take care of them. They are more important. So give priority to your family, take care of them properly. Third thing about the society, people around you, your workplace, your teammates, just treat them as humans. Beyond your workplace, beyond your job, they are also humans. You may come out of that organization at any time, but when you come out of the gate of your college, your teammate should have the feel that, yes, my friend is standing there. I have one person whom I really know in my life. If you could give that feeling to someone, that is really awesome. You can overcome all your stress, right? So what you feel is what you are. So think positively, overcome all your stress and live in a healthy and happy manner. I wish you all best luck and I pray to God that may God bless all of us in a wonderful way to balance our work and life in a beautiful manner and overcome this COVID period and make our life in a successful manner. Thank you very much, all of you. Yes, Dr. Sriram.
Yes, ma'am. It is indeed a wonderful presentation. I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed it very much.
Okay.
And I hope people are very happy. We can see their positive messages in the chat box.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
And dear faculty members, if you have any doubt, you can ask madam by unmuting your mic or through the chat box.
Yeah, you can pose your questions. If you have any questions, please ask me. Thank you all. Thank you. Thanks for your positive comments and feedbacks. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm open for questions and I can answer to you based on the little knowledge what I have on stress management and work-life balance.
Ma'am, we have a question
Yes?
from Mr. Mani.
Yeah, please tell me.
How can I overcome difference of opinions in workplaces?
How can I overcome difference of opinion in
Workplace.
workplace? Okay. So first check whether it comes out of your perception or real. If it comes out of your perception, better clarify before deciding about people. Better clarify, go talk to them, or check for the related information. Say, for example, if someone has submitted some report which you have initially prepared, don't think that they have taken it away from you and they have presented. You just check. Your HOD might have asked them to submit it a bit early, or you might have taken leave in between on that day. They must have been given with that work and they could have done that. Something must have done, something must have been happened without your knowledge. So better talk to people openly without offending and get the answer, clarify it. If not, check the reasons behind as why it has happened. So if you could openly check the answers, I'm sure you will be able to get it and you can sort it out as per the situation. I hope I have answered.
Yes, ma'am. Very well said, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a
Yes, please tell me.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, how can we mingle with others and with all peoples?
No, your voice is husky. Can you please repeat it?
How can we mingle with all people in an easy manner?
Okay. So first thing, always think that other people are also equivalent to you. Never have a maybe over superiority or inferiority feeling. Never think that others are big or you are too big, you know everything, or others know everything, you doesn't know. Never have that feeling. Always think that you have your knowledge, you are also good in something. Equivalently, others also something know something in a better manner. So by complimenting, you can learn something. In that way, you keep your mind open and approach people in a friendly manner and care them always. Right? When someone is doing something really good, someone has dressed up that, tell them, sir, you look good today. What is special? Ask them. Right? If someone has really done something good, appreciate them. Sir, wonderful, you achieved it. Congratulations. Appreciate them. And if something's really not okay, if someone looks so sick, go ask them, sir, what happened? You look so dull today. Is there any situation where I can help you? Is there any possibility of me helping you? Ask such a way. So people will be much more comfortable with you. And when you make them understand that you're open and you never put them down, you never cheat them, automatically people will be comfortable with you. So develop that rapport with an open-mindedness with confidence. If you could do that, automatically your relationship will be perfect.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we have a question from Dr. S. Rajeshwari.
Yes, please.
How to overcome work politics in organization?
It's a big question. The thing is that you keep yourself away from it. Okay. If possible, project it. Wherever the person who's playing politics is doing all filthy tasks, better slowly project it to your teammates, make them understand. Automatically, things will be all right. If not, if you think that that is totally filthy, it's not even worth of talking about it, just dump it. Don't bother about it. It will have its own way of getting vanished. You need not worry about it. But if you really think that that affects you, that affects people, again, be smart enough, handle it, and project to people, portray to them in such a way that that is pure politics activity. Automatically, people will get to know. No one will respond. You can overcome. I hope
Said, madam. Yes.
that's it. Any questions? Okay then. Got any other questions or any other queries to be asked? Please text me. Or you all know my number. It is there in the brochure itself. So you can text me. I can answer you. Okay. Thank you very much for your patience listening as well as your participation. Yes, Sriram sir, we can close the session.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
I also thank all the faculty members who has been so patient and very cautious and very attentive for all the 5 days. And I hope we can also organize such sessions in the future. And we expect the same participants with a lot of information. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you. Take care, all of you.